Hello everyone, this is Husketeer here, back with some more Bronze League Heroes! I don't know how long I can actually hold that note. Someday we will find out. Let's go and introduce our players. Down in the bottom right side, it's going to be none other than WolfJohnson, which is actually an epic name. That sounds like someone from history. I don't know. WolfJohnson sounds pretty badass to me. And his opponent up at the top right side, this is the top left side, guys. This is not the top right side. I guess I tricked you, or I tricked myself. It remains to be seen. I don't know. It is going to be WLNKList, WLnkList, which I feel like is something that I should know, but then you must realize I'm actually the most uncultured person you will ever meet. So if it's a reference I do not understand, then I'm sure that you guys will let me know. Now, as this game is getting underway, I do want to mention a couple of things. Number one, I just recently downloaded the new version of XSplit, which just came out not that long ago. I think just a couple of days ago. And so the settings are slightly different. Possibly a higher frame rate, hopefully a little bit better quality. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything glaringly wrong or if it actually is ending up working out okay. This is kind of my maiden voyage, my trial run. So if anything is incorrect and not to your liking, don't be mean. Don't be mean. Be nice. Spread some love. And just let me know. Just let me know. You can say it very nicely. Be like, Husky, I'm sorry, but you're a complete idiot. Nope, gotta stop you there. Delete that. Delete it. Delete it right now. But also, as this game is getting underway, the other thing I want to mention is, of course, Bronze League Heroes is where we cast the very best of the very worst. And, of course, it's not to laugh at the players. It's to remind you guys that StarCraft is made to have fun, made for having fun. No matter how good or bad you may be at the game, get out there and play some StarCraft. It's a fun game. And don't take yourselves too seriously. I'm going to keep saying that. Don't take yourselves too seriously. You are a pretty cool person, but don't take yourself too serious. Your life will be much better for it. But it is going to be a TVT, which is a matchup that I take very seriously because it can be an extremely stressful match to watch. Old school TVT, back in the Brood War days, was all about the positioning, all about the counterattacks with the Vultures, all about that Widow Mine placement. But now you can really do a lot of different things. You can be lots more mobile with Marine and Marauder drops. You can still go mech if you would like. You can try and mech it work. You will see a lot of Marine and Marauder, though, in a standard TVT. Don't know if we're going to be seeing that here, as we do have an SCV scouting out. Kind of a weird scouting pattern. I'm not sure if that's actually going directly to the base or somewhere more sinister. No, it is actually going to be down here. Looks like it may be some sort of proxy, or he's just a really bad scouting SCV who actually has no idea where the bases are. And I don't think that's the case, though, because we do have a factory on the way. We're going to be talking about that in just a moment. But what is WolfJohnson going for? Looks like he already has his factory about halfway done, almost there at least, as we do have a second barracks going to be coming on up. So he's going to be going more standard macro, adding in that factory. You could really just be using that factory for medevacs if you would like, or siege tanks. I mean, siege tanks are pretty good in Bronze League because you just kind of set them up, leave them alone, and sometimes they will kill a lot of stuff, which is always a positive. Now, right now, WLnkList in the bottom center-ish side, more and more leaning towards the bottom left side, does have that proxy factory. Now, what I want to know is what transition is there after a proxy factory? I mean, do you just make a bunch of Hellions to try and run them in the main base? That's kind of silly because your opponent most likely will be walling in here, as both these players have been. Do you throw down a starport? I'm guessing it's going to be for Proxy Thor. Actually, we do have the Armory right now, so that is leaning more towards Proxy Thor, as the Armory is, of course, what unlocks that. Then he's going to need a starport here, I would assume. Otherwise, the Thor is not going to be able to do all that much. I wonder if this is a strategy I need to try sometime, guys. Literally just go Hidden Factory at their expansion, or maybe just, like, right out of sight, like right here or something, and then just go straight Armory, and don't even lift the Thor into the base. Just literally go for a Thor. I feel like it can work 100% of the time, and try and run that up the ramp. I don't know. Most walls, though, are Thor tight. Let's be completely honest here. Thors can't slip through a whole lot, but we do have that starport on the way. There's going to be the tech lab. Armory should be done momentarily, and indeed there it is. We should be seeing the Thor 2 follow it up. But remember that the starport builds quite quickly, and not going to be ready in time for a Thor with the dropship here, but it should be pretty close, as we should see that Thor starting up here pretty darn soon. I'm going to try and click it for him here. Does not have nearly enough money. I will say, though, WLnkList still making SCVs back at home, despite needing enough money for a brand new Thor for Christmas. And there it is on the way. We'll have to make that medevac as well. Remember, medevacs do take 42 in-game seconds, whereas Thor takes 60. So starting that Thor way earlier is the way to go. And actually making a couple SCVs right now is not that big of a deal. We do have 22 SCVs for WolfJohnson, so he somehow has more workers despite going for a ridiculous strategy. Now, WolfJohnson, what he's going to want to do is put his Marines right here, intercept that dropship, and prevent it from dropping anything. He does have a Viking on the way as well. Unfortunately, is supply blocked, and that supply block might actually cost him here because, yes, the depot just finished. The Viking is on the way, but the timing might actually have been so detrimental that Viking is not going to be out in time to stop this drop. Medevac is ready to go. Is WolfJohnson paying attention? Does he know that this drop is indeed ready to fly out or ready to roll out? If it was a siege tank, I suppose they do like to say that. And no, not getting on top of it right away, and will give time for that Viking to complete. Now, will the Viking actually intercept the drop? That remains to be seen. SCVs and Marines pulled off the line. This is it, boys. This is war. 99 Luft Thors in the air. I don't know. 99 Luft balloons doesn't quite make sense because that's 99 red balloons, but we got blue Thors, which is drastically different and more terrifying. So we do have that Thor going to go ahead and drop, looks like right in the main base. And unfortunately for WolfJohnson, he's completely out of position here. Nothing back at home to defend. This drop, even if it was SCVs in here, I feel like he could harass pretty well. But it is not SCVs. It is a Thor, which will be one-shot. At the same time, though, the army down here is going to get intercepted. If this was football, this would be a very exciting moment, but I guess in StarCraft, interceptions are pretty good as well. Just really not scoring many touchdowns right now. 13 kills, lucky number 13 on this Thor, now up to 14. That number is, of course, going to continue to rise because there's just nothing here to stop this. He could basically kill this command center, which would be kind of hilarious and also very depressing. If your name is WolfJohnson, there's going to be the hot pickup to get on out of there. The Viking, they're going to try to intercept. The angle, though, is not the best and doesn't have the speed to be able to chase it down with those thrusters, as it does look at the medevac right now. Goes ahead and drops that right there as the Thor is ready to go. 14 excuse me, and hasn't taken a single shot of damage. Is now going to be working down on these Vikings. Don't know if it's actually enough to kill one of them off, but either way, all amounts of damage that you can do, of course, does pay off in the long run. Does look like the Marines and siege tanks going to go ahead and move on out towards the top left side, which is a completely defenseless base. We do have 2 Marines right there. That's obviously not going to be enough. Join the Marines, they said. Have lots of friends, they said, whereas no, these guys are completely by themselves. So we very well may be having some sort of base race situation, which is quite common in Bronze League heroes, and yet it never ceases to amaze. As StarCraft 2 does have a lot of the base races, and I think a lot of it has to do with the good unit pathing. Your units get to where you want them right away, which means there's nothing back at home to defend. There's no like slow pathing, and plus, of course, you can control all your units into one hotkey group, so people do tend to try and clump them up as much as possible. We do have the Thors kind of ready to go. And actually, if they just march right up this ramp, they're going to be in a pretty good spot. That siege tank, not sure if that's far enough back, but either way, it does look at the siege tanks on the low ground. They are attacking the high ground, going to be able to take out those supply depots, and that is going to be a pretty severe supply block. So no more reinforcements on the way. The siege tank is in range. If he was back just a little bit further, would have been able to actually cut off that tank, the Thor, and possibly the SCVs repairing it, but unfortunately, it's got to be one Marauder trying to hold the line. Not going to be happening, especially with so many SCVs sent up here to repair these Thors. This base is as good as dead. WolfJohnson knows it, and he is getting the hell out of there. What he has to do, though, is get up in here. Wait, what's going on? Apparently, he lifted off way early. No reason for that, but he's actually going to be hiding at the top left side. I guess actually lifting it off early is going to prevent those Vikings from actually spotting exactly where it is. We'll see if that happens or not, but it does look at the main base of WolfJohnson. It's completely dead. Does go ahead and drop that Thor inside the medevac to try and chase it down. Marines probably a better choice here, but Thor is here up to 16 kills, 7 kills on this other Thor, and he's probably going to be getting a little bit more here by killing off those supply depots. Main base over here, speaking of supply depots, is also going to be getting taken out by this relatively strong force, siege tanks and Marines. Now, I'm kind of curious. Army supply overall is 22 to 26, a slight favor to WolfJohnson, and he does have those Thors as well, which are basically unstoppable unless you have more than like this. Which right now this army is going to have a hard time killing those Thors off because they're basically going to one-shot the Marines, and it's only a couple more shots to kill off siege tanks as well. So definitely going to be a favor handed here to WolfJohnson. But what I'm wondering is, can either of these players actually expand 8 workers to 8? Literally was 8 to 9. Oh, this number is dropping, though, as these SCVs try and take on a Thor. Not a great idea. I think they were actually trying to repair that command center so it doesn't actually go down. However, the interesting thing here is that both players have enough money to go ahead and expand. Actually going to try and repair this. The Thor decides not to target the SCVs just yet. It does look at the orbital command is going to survive, is going to escape. Although, I don't know. Double Thors here are going to be chasing it down. Vikings here could try and save the line. by just kind of holding the line up here at the top of the ramp. I think they should be okay. Siege tanks should be able to kind of scare this away. Orbital Command not in the red anymore, or I don't even know if it ever was, but either way, it is not in danger of burning down. Needs to go ahead and land right there, though. Get those SCVs out of the way. Get those Marines out of the way. Land that bad boy. I'm not quite sure exactly what's going on with this Orbital Command. He's a little bit special. There he goes. Needs to go ahead and start mining there. The Orbital Command, though, he doesn't want to work today. He's saying, no, I've been through a lot. It's been a very stressful work day for me. Thanks for asking. It does look like, though, the starport here going to spot everything that's going on. This is like the best scout in North America, best scout in A. However, we do have the command center up here, which could easily land down there. Siege tank, though, randomly left behind. Don't know exactly what he's doing up there. SCVs, get back to work! Back to work. As I always love that in World of Warcraft when you run around and punch peons and it's just like back to work. Kind of the best thing ever. Starport over here, though, has basically seen everything that's going on. He knows for a fact that there is a command center on the way. I don't think he knows about the orbital command up in the top left side, so if he decides to move on out to kill this off, it is not going to be enough, as that base in the top left side does, of course, remain. Army supply right now 22 to 26 still, and just a couple of buildings here getting shot. And lots of energy here, actually, for WolfJohnson, as I think that going to be helping him out a lot here, help him catch up in supply. But both these players are severely supply blocked, so really it's going to be up to them to start making those depots. And I guess one way to break a supply block is build a command center, so that's going to be helping him get a little bit closer to that. However, I mean, where do you build these supply depots at? Where's this one being built at? That's just the red one. There's no blue supply depot on the way. He's got to figure out, okay, where's a safe, quote-unquote, place that I can expand to? Can you actually drop back there? I don't know. Maybe on the high ground. I think he's trying to figure it out right now. It doesn't seem that he can actually drop anywhere to go ahead and shoot that down. That is one thing about StarCraft 2 maps as well, is there is a lot of dead space a lot of the times in the corner of the maps, where basically if you're Terran, you can float buildings there and they cannot die unless they have a flying unit or a base to slowly work towards making a flying unit. And we do have WolfJohnson now going to be adding on lots of barracks. I don't know if he can really afford this off of one base, but he does have a lot of money in the bank. So maybe realizing, hey, I need to get out lots of Marines. I need to try and get my gas income up. Does he have any gas whatsoever? No, he doesn't. Trying to make more workers right here, though. 7 workers to 8, but more mules for sure, as it does look at this command center. This command center is out of here, man. He is flying so far across the map. This orbital looks like he can go ahead and land right there. Does have full energy, though. Does look like SCVs trying to route the ramp, but that was a mistake, as they all die, except for just a few back here, which were the stragglers. Some people would call them wusses. I would call them extremely intelligent units, as they decide not to go ahead and run into that siege tank line. This siege tank line will mess up just about anything that's in the game right now, because there's only, I believe, what, 2 Thors and 10 Marines. That's not going to be enough to break this, especially with the Marine back up here as well. Is actually going to go ahead and knock down this rock tower. This is a brilliant play here, knowing that this army can now only approach from one angle, and this kind of triangle shape of siege tanks right here is perfectly positioned to protect this. I mean, the Thors could easily kill us off without even being shot by the siege tanks, but I don't know if he's going to be smart enough to do that or not. But he does have the 2 bases up and running now. Got to go ahead and drop those mules down, and that should be 4, but actually just has the 3. I'm not sure where the rest of the energy actually went. Maybe he dropped it a little bit earlier. SCV's got to go ahead and transfer up here. Actually, I don't know where these guys are going. That is a complete dead end, despite there being a base over here. It looks like this command center does not want to stay here, is instead going to expand much more closely to his opponent. You're going to be able to see 2 different mineral lines within, like, yelling distance. These SCVs can almost literally see each other. You can see the vision right here. It comes to about halfway between these 2 bases. So a very interesting choice to go ahead and drop that down right there. It looks like these buildings going to boogie on out of here as well. He's just going to consolidate his assets and I guess just kind of live in the same neighborhood as opposed to all over town, as that base is now taken. I will say, though, WolfJohnson was way ahead, but now falling quickly behind. He is currently down by 9 workers, and does have that double base, though, so he could easily produce 2 at a time if he wants to, but at first needs to get rid of the supply block. I gotta say, WolfJohnson, though, playing pretty smart this game. Just gonna be turtling here for now. More workers on the way. I think both players are going to need more to end this game. Workers killed overall, 21 to 17. Quite a bit, considering how this game has gone, as that was just a lot of dead workers right away, and then neither player able to actually recover just yet. But we do have the Death Star March over here. This is more of a Star Destroyer. I ever realized the Starport kind of looked like a Star Destroyer, just a little bit, only with a lot less pew-pew lasers, which I think is quite sad. But indeed, that does head on up to that new base in the top left side. I honestly don't know who's going to win this. I want to say WolfJohnson definitely has a substantial lead right now, but we do have SCVs on the way. The supply depots are finally done for WolfJohnson. Does have gas on the way as well. I don't think he needs double gas right now. Maybe just getting a single one or making them one after the other, because he does need as much money as possible. But do not underestimate the power of the Thor. I mean, this Thor alone has 20 kills. The other Thor only at 9. He's definitely no Commander Thor, but definitely looking pretty good. I don't know know if WolfJohnson realizes where this base is actually at, because last time he saw it, there was a command center there that floated and landed right here. So he is assuming that is exactly where that is at, and unfortunately for him, he got completely outplayed as that base is no longer there. Viking going to be scouting out, seeing if anyone has that watchtower, and then goes ahead and scouts south just a little bit, decides to send his entire army. But this is going to buy some very valuable time here for WolfJohnson, and he does have a starport with another tech lab. Is it going to be additional Thors, or is it going to be siege tanks? I honestly never know what to expect in Bronze League Heroes, other than absolutely awesome games. And as this game kind of develops, I mean, look at this mini-map here, completely silly. I do want to mention, please send your replays to huskyreplays@gmail.com for Bronze League Heroes. My friend Sinvicta, whose link is down below, he is the one who sorts through those replays. He also has a YouTube channel where he plays lots of different games, so go check him out. But I will say, send your replays to huskyreplays@gmail.com, as we are back into sorting those replays to find the best game. So I'm kind of hoping that this game continues to be hilarious. I personally think that this game is already worth uploading just based on the base locations alone, as we do still have a little bit of time here for WolfJohnson. He's starting to get a little bit of money, starts to have those mules at that main base, and this base down here does have 2 workers as well, so you know, he's at least saturating-ish those bases. This army down here, though, is super confused. This is going to be killing out this add-on. Every other building, though, has lifted off. WolfJohnson, you can almost see the gears turning right now as he's trying to figure out, okay, where the hell did this army go? Surely he didn't fly it all the way back to the top left side. You can see on his minimap, he does not know where a single unit or a single building is. He's trying to find where it's at right now, but unfortunately he's scouting the absolute incorrect way. He doesn't know where it's at. He's a little bit confused as to what's going on, and to be quite frank, so am I, and I can see it from the sky, as we do have 3 barracks going to be on the way. I think WolfJohnson just needs to keep making workers, and so far he is. He has 6 queued up in all, which is definitely a good start. Those 3 barracks should be able to be fully functional here pretty darn soon, especially with the mules continuing to drop. I think using all that energy on mules is definitely the way to go. Even if you don't know what your opponent has coming, at least you're going to have a little bit of an economy. And these Marines still trying to find out where the hell this base is at. He's like, there's no way. There is no way he expanded to the top left side. No one would actually fly that building that far away, although his eyes are going to be blown away. His brain is going to explode when he actually spots exactly what's going on right here. And it does look like the Marine gonna get shot in the face. Goodbye, Marine. It was very nice knowing you. Top left side here does look like, yep, gonna be producing from these pretty darn soon, I would assume. Actually gonna be doing the add-ons. Tech labs on the way. So I gotta say, WolfJohnson finally just now finding his opponent, but WolfJohnson has now had time to get back in this game. SCV decides to expand even closer to his opponent, as if they were close enough already. I hope they know that they are on actually opposite sides of the game. I've never seen in all my years of StarCraft people intentionally expanding closer to their opponent. I mean, this is just a very awkward, very hilarious game, as it does look like this army, though, is ready to roll out. A couple Thors up here, the same 2 Thors, but a third one got to be spawning just in time. This might actually be first name Justin, last name Time. Might actually be the perfect time, as he needs those Thors out right now. Even a 4th one would be ideal. Siege tank's almost in range. It does look like, though, the pressure has begun. That Darth Vader chokehold that I love to say has begun. That contain is set up. Thors right there, almost getting baited into that siege tank line. But more importantly, I mean, that is a lot of Marines out right now, which is enough to engage this army directly. There's going to be a couple of shots off onto the Viking. Are these guys set to hold position? It actually doesn't show you anymore. You used to be able to tell if they're on hold position or not, but for now it looks like they very well may be. Siege tanks slowly inching their way forward. Are they in range of this army? It actually backs out before the cannons were able to activate right there. So a great play here by WolfJohnson, although he is supply blocked. Probably not the best play that he's done. He does have a stim pack on the way, but he's going to be having a lot of money in the bank here since he's not actually spending anything. Combat shield is nearly done here. He wants to try and buy time if he can. Medevac energy is very high here, but it does look like WolfJohnson going to be going in for the kill. However, that supply lead he had substantially less now because he's just not spending his money. Sure, he got one of the orbital commands, and it looks like an SCV just pops out there literally at the last second. It looks like he's going to end up dying, and so is his little buddy there. Oh, poor Thor needs to pick it up. Actually manages to. The medevac doesn't go down either, as it does look like this army for WolfJohnson a little hesitant to actually move up that ramp, as it is now going to be 1 base to 2. I don't know why WolfJohnson decided to expand there, but he just does not care. That is definitely a YOLO moment if I've ever seen one. He's just like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and build my base as close to my opponent as possible. What's the worst that can happen? It does look like the Marine's going to be running up here. However, the 3 Thors at a pretty good choke point here. That army not able to get the best concave here with insane micro. Actually picking up that Thor at the last second. He does it again. He does it again. Even better than I can micro out of nowhere. saves both those Thors, and it does look like this game is going to be continuing. I gotta say, in Bronze League Heroes, that is some of the best micro I have ever seen. Maybe, just maybe, we're in Silver League. Who knows? Is this a Silver League Superstars? I don't care, because this game is hilarious. The decision making is quite bad, and yet it's like bad good. It's like watching a movie that is intentionally bad, but that is what makes it so good. As these Thors now actually basically at full HP. I don't think a single Thor has died today. As we do have these Vikings, not Vikings, well, there's one over here trying to protect these siege tanks. Those siege tanks are very vulnerable, though. Could easily unload. Those siege tanks are super dead. Actually, is that Thor going to die? He needs to pick it up if possible. It does kill off one of the Thors. Was it the hero Thor? It was, actually. I think, isn't the other Thor have 20 kills? I think that was the hero Thor. He can never be replaced. Thor is healed, though, as we do have more Thors on the way. There's going to be a delayed Thor drop. That 28-man Thor drop inside the mineral line. Still super effective. This is like a fire type versus a grass type. Actually, no, this is a water type versus a fire type. Oh, that poor Thor getting taken out. Lots of workers, though, do fall in that drop. 28 workers killed to 30. This game is still going strong, as it's basically 1 base to 1. Is this a planetary? Yes, it is. Don't know if that planetary is going to be playing a crucial role here or not. All these SCVs, though, they need to get back to work, and indeed, there they go. This main base, though, is nearly mined out. I think time is running out of the hourglass here, really, for both of these players. I mean, look at this. WolfJohnson is almost mined out inside of his main base. 1 or 2 more mules, and those mineral patches are going to start disappearing. A lot of them already have. Whereas WolfJohnson is way behind in supply, so he needs to try and get up these static defenses, try and get out enough workers to really supplement that income. And for now, neither player is really in that kind of a spot. I don't know who's going to win. I mean, WolfJohnson was ahead, then way behind, and now kind of in the lead, I guess. But here we go. It's the final countdown. Decides to focus down the Thor. Don't know if that's worth it. He's got to try and make it happen. The majority of his army does go down. Does pick up the Thor at the last second, and that may be it. WolfJohnson is going to march in here. No siege tanks in sight. If he would have had those, he could have actually held this off quite easily. But I think WolfJohnson is going to be your MVP, going to be your winner in a very, very ridiculous base race / moving back to your old bases / moving close to your opponent. I don't even know what to say, guys. This game is mind-blowing to me right now. I'm actually in awe of how this game actually ended up going. I gotta say, WolfJohnson probably not too happy about this. SCV's pulled off the line. Where are they going to run, though? I guess the Planetary Fortress is their last saving grace, but even if they make it there, where are you going to be spending that money at? This Marauder here can't kill anybody. That Marauder can't kill nobody. He couldn't be a serial killer even if he wanted to, because the medevacs are going to keep healing up this army. And you can see they actually have full energy. Their energy bars have disappeared because they have full energy. Not a good spot for WolfJohnson to be in, although look at this. Could have used this money a little bit earlier. Drops down the 4 mules. Doesn't have any... Wait, the game's not over just yet. We do have the starport going to be on the way. We also have the factory on the way. Does he decide to get siege tanks or even a Banshee? A Banshee with some cloak could actually still win this game if he kills off these units, keeps the energy low. There is that distinct possibility. The Thor, though, outranging the Planetary, forced to repair. I don't know if he's actually able to make a profit right now with the Thor actually attacking, trying to find that sweet spot. I honestly just think sitting back and attacking that Planetary is the way to go, but for now he decides to go ahead and attack the mineral line. Does manage to take out 2 mules, and actually this is such a powerful angle. If you just put him on hold position, he will most likely attack the Planetary and the SCVs and nothing else, and that's exactly what we're seeing here so far. How many kills is this Thor up to? 27 kills, soon to be more, already at 28. And this is a pretty tough spot for WolfJohnson. He does have high-sec auto-tracking on the way, though. Is that going to be enough? Adds +1 range to auto turrets, missile turrets, and planetary fortresses, and point defense drones. Not sure if we're going to be seeing that. But maybe the Planetary will actually be in range. He's trying to repair. I mean, this Thor does insane DPS, and yeah, I think this Planetary is going to fall. I can't imagine a world where this Planetary actually manages to kill this army, and down it goes. Was hoping for the miracle comeback Planetary Fortress, but it was not meant to be, as there's going to be the GG from WolfJohnson. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoy it, and of course, I'll see you guys next time. You think I'm ending the video right here. That's what you think. A lot of you have already closed the video. Never to know what you're going to miss, which actually isn't all that much. I don't really have actually anything that entertaining to say. However, I do have a bottle of water on my desk, and I'm going to take a drink of it, and you have to sit here and wait through that. All right, how many of you actually waited? How many of you actually waited? Anyways, let me guys know if the frame rate was okay. That was definitely... It seemed like it was okay. Kind of hard to tell. I'll have to check the video once it's up on the YouTubes. Because you never know with processing. Sometimes things get a little out of whack. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy. And of course, I'll see you guys next time.